what we're going to do is actually walk through this course so you have an understanding of how it's all put together. In general, well, this should look relatively familiar. You log into the announcements and you have your big buttons on the left. You'll notice that this course is broken out week by week. You have a lot to do in this course. It was specifically backwards designed to ensure that everything you're doing in week 1, week 2, week 3, is preparing you to be successful when you turn in your signature assignment in week 7. There's a draft due in week 6. When you turn in your signature assignment in week 7, and then you do your final wrap-ups in week 8. Now, START here is global information. It's about the whole of the university. It's always worth taking a look there to see what's new, if any of the big URLs you may visit, the ADA specialist or the online writing community, if anything's been updated. Course information is where you'll find the specifics about this particular course. I always put a little roadmap, and then there's about your instructor, so he or she will give you all their contact info and their bio. Your course at a glance is your course schedule. Let's take a quick look. What you'll notice about this course is that while some of the modules are broken apart, again, it is specifically chunked by weeks because you have a lot to do and we want to ensure your success. So I also want to point out that in week 1 in particular, you will be reading the Harvey and Jolette book, Building Teams, Building People. This is a read. This is not a skim. And I tell you when some of the related articles are skimmers. Please read this book carefully. You have to jump in right away because we have our first class webinar at the end of week 1. You'll see every week whether you have a threaded discussion, and the one in week 1 actually bleeds over to week 2. You need to participate in both weeks. You have an On the Stand, which is a wiki activity. I think you're really going to enjoy that and get a lot out of it. And you get a heads up to prepare for a very important assignment you have twice in this course. It's called the Reflective Engagement Through Application assignment. You are asked to take something that you've read about in the course, a theory, a concept, a behavior, something from the readings, and actually apply it in real life. So you have a heads up on this. The first time this is due is at the end of week 3. The second time it's due is at the end of the course, the end of week 8. But because you actually have to apply something to real life, you have time to prepare. You'll need a meeting or some other kind of get-together in which to actually implement a theory, a concept, a behavior, a strategy, something from the readings. There's a couple of related work pieces you have to do with that. We'll get to it. But so you have the course at a glance. Now, inside each individual week, when you go, and yes, we're still waiting for the final copy. It's just boilerplate stuff. The course is designed inside each individual week. You'll notice we always start with an overview. Now, with each overview, there's a JPEG of the week, the same information that you have here for each individual week, you will find waiting for you in a JPEG that week only. Okay, so you don't necessarily need it, but if you want it, there it is. There is an overview that always sets the tone. Think of it as an amuse-bouche. I don't know if there's any foodies in the group. I am absolutely not one, but my husband is, so I try. I pretend. Take your time with this. There's always a video or a podcast, something that really, truly sets the tone for the week and not only helps put you on track, but helps you open up your thinking. Here's the thing about Teams, guys. People tend to blow off this whole idea that, well, come on, you've been on Teams, you know what to do, you listen, you go do what you're supposed to do. Not quite. That's so overly simplistic, it hurts. The point is, there's a lot in this class. There's a lot to learn, there's a lot to think about. There's a lot in this class that will make sense when this class is over. And that's okay. But there's so many different ways and tools and strategies and different things we can bring to our roles, whether it's as a team member or as the leader of a team. I promise you, everything that is in this course is purposeful and meaningful. There is no filler. So, the weeks are pretty self-explanatory, but what I want to point out in particular is, you have a key assignments folder. In the key assignments folder, you have drop boxes. Now, at the very top, you have the information on your signature assignment, and this is a biggie. In fact, your work in teams throughout the whole of this course is based upon your work on your team as a team member, successfully building out your signature assignment, the Change Leadership Team Development Plan. This relates directly to your TCP. Each person will have to craft their own, but you do so in teams to support each other and to have an opportunity, again, to implement, to explore, to play with the different ideas from this course. Please notice that the three main components of this signature assignment, and you'll see this in the rubric, are identified by color. You'll see these colors on the rubric, which is inside this folder. It's also inside course information. This course has been designed so you can succeed in a meaningful, transferable fashion. Pay attention to all the small clues that are here to help you succeed. These colors you will find on the rubric. Yellow relates to yellow, green relates to green. Can't get more obvious than that, all right? So you're crafting the team, the plan that you will use to craft your leadership team for your TCP. Additionally, in this key assignments folder, button, area, section, you will find these drop boxes. Remember the assignment we talked about, the reflective engagement through application. The first one is due the end of week 3. The second one is due the end of week 8. There is a form for you to fill out. In fact, this activity has 3 parts. You first do something from the reading. You apply a strategy, behavior, concept, something. There is a form for you to fill out and turn in to the Dropbox. This is for the first one, due the end of week 3. Here's the Dropbox for the second one, due the end of week 8. Then you also have a blog post. This blog is only for you and the instructor. All right, please don't worry that you're going to say something, you'd be embarrassed in front of the whole class. This is only for you and the instructor. The form you fill out is very straightforward. All right, what did I apply? Where did I get it from? What meeting did I apply it to? What did I expect to happen? But in the blog is where you really do get reflective. How did it go? How was the experience? How did it feel? Did it match your expectations? This is a much more personal writing assignment than the forms are. The forms are pretty cut and dried. The blog is reflective and personal. Also, in this same folder, you see the Dropbox for your team meeting survey forms. You will be meeting with your teams, which we will choose at immersion, the end of week 2. You will have Adobe Connect meetings you guys need to schedule in weeks 3 through 7. You have to do this. You have to meet as a team. It's crucial. It will make sense when you dig more into the content of this course. After each individual meeting, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, you need to fill out the team meeting survey form and post it to this Dropbox, the same Dropbox. All right, it has unlimited number of attempts, quote unquote, so that all of your individual team meeting survey forms for each meeting are in the same Dropbox. All right, you fill out the form, but each week a different person will take a turn at being the team leader. Each person will get one chance, one opportunity to be the team lead. As the leader, it is your responsibility to record the meeting. Make that URL public. Submit that URL along with a brief 1-paragraph assessment of your thoughts and feelings. How'd you do? How did it go? How did it feel? Got it? Each week, including the week when you are the leader, each person fills out a team meeting survey form. But when it's your turn to be the leader, You also need to get a URL. I'm sorry, you need to record the meeting. You need to copy the URL, make sure that URL is public, paste that into a Word doc along with a paragraph of your assessment of how you did as a leader, how it went. All right, again, this is all inside key assignments. There's only 2 more things inside this Dropbox. I'm sorry, inside this area, folder, section, button, key assignments. Number 1 is the Dropbox for the draft of your signature assignment. This is the only super hard deadline in this course. 5:00 p.m. Pacific time on the Thursday of week 6. This is non-negotiable. Why? Your cohort mentor is going to be grading these papers that are turned in at 5:00, by 5:00. You can turn it in early, obviously, on the Thursday of that week. So he or she has time to read them and be able to give you meaningful feedback when you do meet at the end of the week. Please, please don't ask for an extension on this. You know right now, it's due at 5:00 p.m. on the Thursday of your 6th week of class. Okay? There's no secrets. You know right up front. Your cohort mentor has to have time to go through all of those papers with the rubric. Has to. And when your signature assignment is due in week 7, remember that will be inside live text. And you know where that button is, and you guys know how to do that by now. The final Dropbox inside the key assignments folder is for your reflection artifact. There will be more information coming on this later in the course because we're still trying to decide. Initially, we wanted this to be something that you built in your other course you're taking at the same time. I'm not 150% sure we're going to be able to do that, but note that whatever the final reflection artifact is, the Dropbox is inside key assignments. And you have a folder for your teams. Now, we will officially set our teams when we meet in Irvine for immersion at the end of week 2. Each week you have teamwork to do. Gathering your own individual materials, working together to make sure everybody's on track with their paper. Week 2, you have to build a teamwork haiku. It goes into the wiki in week 2. Do not put your name. Do not sign it. Do not sign it. All right? So each week, and all of this information, guys, please don't be scared. All of this information also lives within each individual week. This course was constructed to ensure your success. So again, each week has an overview. There is always a video or a podcast, something cool to really whet your appetite, get you into the course. There's always a folder on readings to remind you what to read for that particular week. And then the learning activities folder, in which if there's a threaded discussion, there's the link to the threaded discussion, there's the information. Module 4, week 4, ensuring every member's on track. There's your teamwork, team meeting. This is 2, team member B leads this week. This is all crafted to ensure your success. There's the live text button, the virtual office. You don't have a threaded discussion every single week. You have 5 in the whole of this course. 2 of them bleed over, so you begin them one week and complete them the following. Please make sure inside course information, and this is huge because this is a social constructivist course. Those threaded discussions are huge. Please, please, please go over the threaded discussion rubric. It is there to guide you, to inform you, to ensure your success so that you can get the most out of these threaded discussions. Every single threaded discussion is based upon application, breaking down preconceived notions, trying to look at things through multiple prisms, because all of us bring a wealth of experience to this course. And between our own understanding of the reading and discussing and negotiating with our peers, there is so much we can learn together. Yes, it is a social constructivist course, but I also am a strong proponent of connectivism, which considers networks to be the holders of knowledge, as well as the individual to be the one who must access that knowledge. Okay, so it's a kissing cousin to constructivism. All right, there's the point structure. Again, there are no surprises. There is nothing hidden. Everything is broken out and clearly explained for you. So the wikis, the individual work that you do week to week is built into the week. Key assignments is where you have your drop boxes. There's all the information on your signature assignment. Application survey number 1, do the end of week 3. Application survey number 2, do the end of week 8. Here's the blog for you to do your 2 posts. Here's the Dropbox where you put in each team meeting survey. You just keep putting it into the same one every week. It's okay. It's all set up. Here is the one time each person gets to be the lead. They give the URL for the meeting and a 1-paragraph summary here. And here is the Dropbox for the draft of the signature assignment. The actual signature assignment goes into live text. And for your final reflective artifact, it will go here as well. And then inside teams, each team has its own wiki. You guys use it as you want. But I'm strongly, 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 strongly urging you that each person at the very least should have their own page. Use it as a repository. Gather information. Post URLs. Everything that you think could be relevant for your TCP. Because it's all going to come into play as you craft your signature assignment, which you will use. Nothing in this course is superfluous. I hope that makes sense. I hope you love this course. You are going to work very hard. Again, no surprises. You are going to work very hard, but it's rich and it's delicious and it's personal and it's meaningful. Thank you again for your time and attention.